Hello guys, welcome to a new video here in JS Education. My name is Carlos Santana and this is the video number 9 for the course Developing Headless CMS with TypeScript and GraphQL. So let's start. So the first thing we need to do is go into the root folder and then we're going to create a new file named git.ignore. And we are going to ignore these folders and files, non-modules, this .ds store and .m files. After this, we need to go to front end and then we need to open the file global.d.ts and we are going to move the JSON declaration we have here. And inside we have a typings folder declarations and we are going to remove the JSON from here because this is going to be used also on a configuration file. So we need to this be on an upper level. The next thing we need to do is going to next.config.js and I'm going to change a little bit this part because I'm going to add more alias here. So basically, I'm putting the dir name under the dir variable, and then I'm adding the app alias at config, at leaf, at pages, at shared. And so those are new folders that we're going to create today. Then we need to go to the front end folder. Oops. I'm not sure what's going on front end. Okay, and then here we're going to install first some dependencies. So the first one that we need to install is at types cookie parser, at types course, at types express session, types / GraphQL. Also we need the types for isomorphic fetch and types / JSON web token. So those are gonna be the dependencies, and then later, once those are installed, we need to install the dependencies, the new dependencies that we're going to use. So we need add Apollo / client. So this, we are going to use Apollo 3 on this project. The actual initial project that is on the official repository is using Apollo 2. So this is gonna be new and it's going to change a little bit the way it's implemented. So at the end, when I merge both repositories together, I'm going to carry on this new implementation to the official repository. So we need to install all these packages: Express, Session, GraphQL, course, isomorphic fetch. Okay, let me install those first, and then I can. Okay, isomorphic fetch. For some reason disappears, but it's fine. Then let's wait to finish. Okay, then we need to install JSON web token and React-cookie. Those are the last two packages. And just to get the latest versions of the packages we have, we are going to run ncu-u. So remember that you need to upgrade the version that you are seeing in my screen, otherwise probably you are seeing this video later, weeks later, and you will get newer versions that can fail. So for now, just follow these versions, and we're going to run npm install again. So after this, we need to go to source, and we're going to create a folder called config. And then inside, we're going to create a file called common.json. It's a JSON file of configuration. So basically here, we need to copy this configuration. Our server port is going to run on 3000. We're going to have languages. The default language is going to be English. And then the list here, we can add more, but for now it's Spanish and English. Then let me close some stuff. Looks like my computer is on fire. Okay. Okay, so then on the config, we need to add an index file, index.ts. And let me copy all this thing here. So basically we are going to import the common, the local, and production configuration from the JSONs. This is the interface we are going to have. Base URL, API, URI, credentials, debug, cache, session, server, languages, security, etc. So the default environment is going to be local. And then if we have the node env with some value and then it's different than development, we are going to assign that environment to env. Then in the config, we are going to spread of common configuration. And then based on the environment, if it's local, we are going to put the local configuration, otherwise the production one. And we are going to export these two methods, is local and is production, to identify in which environment we are working. Then we are going to create a new file called local.json, which basically is going to have some local configuration. Localhost 3000 is the base URL. The session cookie domain is localhost. This is for the GraphQL API. Basically that, and then we need to create the production.json, which is going to have the similar structure but with different values. So this is going to have contentpi.com. The URI is going to be contentpi.com/GraphQL, etc. Okay, after this, we need to go to pages. We can delete all these pages like about, index, and index.tsx. And I'm going to create a new file called _app.tsx. So this file is special from Next. So basically it's a special page that is going to be executed before our actual page, and it's like a wrapper. So in this one, I'm importing React, I'm importing the Apollo provider from the Apollo client, the version 3. And then I'm going to use Apollo hook that I'm going to create that later in this video. And then our app component basically is going to receive the component and the page props. We initialize our Apollo client with use Apollo, and we pass the initial Apollo state. And basically we are wrapping our page component or component under the Apollo provider, and we pass the Apollo client here. So in that way, all the pages that we will have on Next are going to be connected to Apollo. Okay, so also we need to create a new folder called here dashboard. And inside, we're going to create one file, index.tsx, with a very easy page, just to show that it's the dashboard page. Then we need to go to our server file, and in here we need to import some packages. We need to import the body parser, the cookie parser, the core sessions, and the config. I'm going to set some middlewares after the public folder. So this one is for the session. We are using the security secret key we have on the config. This is for the body parser, cookie parser, the course, etc. And then I'm going to create a new route for our dashboard, which is going to be this /dashboard is going to render /dashboard page on next. That is the page that we just created. And then finally, we are going to listen the port based on the configuration. So basically, now it's listen the port from config server port. And then we need to go to shared, and I'm going to create a new folder called leaf for our libraries. Inside, we're going to create the file apollo client.ts. So in here, we're going to create our Apollo client file. So basically, we are going to use Mimo from React, basically to improve a little bit the performance of the components that are connected to Apollo. We need to import Apollo client, HTTP link in memory cache, and then fetch from isomorphic fetch, and then our config from @config. This is the new alias I added. So we define Apollo client as just define the variable. We create a function create Apollo client, which is going to return the instance for the new Apollo client. The server-side mode is depending if the window is defined or not. If it's undefined, means it's the server. If it's defined, means it's the client. In here on the link, we're going to pass the fetch. The URI is coming from the config API URI, also the credentials. And then our cache is gonna be new in-memory cache. Later, we need to create a function to initialize Apollo, and we're going to receive an initial state. So if the client already exists on the variable, the global variable, or if it doesn't exist, we are going to create a new Apollo client. If we have initial state, we restore the cache with that. And then for server-side rendering, we always create a new Apollo client. And then if it's not defined, the Apollo client, we assign that client to this variable and we return the client. The use Apollo at the end is just basically using the hook, React hook, use Mimo, and then executing the initialize Apollo and returning the store that we are going to work on it with Apollo. Okay. After this, we need to go to the tsconfig, where we need to add our new paths. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Also, I found an error. So if you see my paths right now are on the level of exclude and include, but that's wrong. You need to cut this part and move it to after GSX. I didn't saw that mistake before. And later, let me go build the new paths. So all of this, add app, add config, add leaf. This is on share leaf asterisk, add pages, add shared. So in here, we cannot have shared first, for example, like this, because if you see leaf is going to point to a folder that is inside shared. So basically, if we do this asterisk, if we put leave or whatever, is going to mark that as part of this URL. So that's why you need to be careful on the alias and the paths you're using. So basically that's it. We can like test it out. if everything is working fine. So we just run the application with npm run dev, and then we run localhost 3000, and then our page is login. We need to make sure that it's still working. It's just the forms. The next video we are going to implement the authentication logic, but then we can go also to the dashboard, which right now is just a very basic page, and the next video we need to implement some permissions, and we need to make sure that the user is connected to be able to access to this page. Otherwise, they will be redirected to the login. So that's it. That's it for this video. I hope you like it. If you have any question, you can join us in Slack or community, or Slack community link is on the description, so feel free to join. Also, if you like this video, please share it with your friends and subscribe to this channel. So that's it. Thanks so much, and see you on the next video.